Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Not Your Only Speak Out Sessions. It's your girl Shannon, and I'm here with the amazing Mr. Jared O. White.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. How are you?
I'm good. How are you this morning?
Feeling good. It's Saturday morning. I love a good Saturday. It's feeling good outside. Another amazing show. Well, not feeling good outside. It's cold outside, but another
Right.
amazing show. But yeah, I'm ready to jump into things.
Yeah, I'm excited because one of my favorite people in the whole wide world is on again. We have the amazing wellness and life coach, as well as content creator, Miss Anastasia Weeks. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me again. I can't wait for this conversation.
I'm like
Yes,
really excited. I feel like we just need to have you on every season because it's needed. It's needed.
Thank
definitely.
Wellness
Thank
is
you.
needed.
Thank you so much for being here with us again. I enjoyed our talk so much, and I think we got so many great, so much good information from that. So we had to have you back, and we love what you've been doing so far with your channel. So we just really definitely want to have you back and talk about all that you're doing. So thank you for coming back.
Thank you.
So, before we start getting too deep into questions, do you want to like kind of give a brief update? Because I know the last time we kind of joined each other, we were talking about kind of your YouTube channel and some videos we were doing, which if you haven't seen any of them, they're amazing and very motivational.
Yeah,
So, do you want to just catch us up on what you've been doing and what's been happening?
Yeah, so life has been moving fast paced for me. I have been doing the YouTube stuff and I've been consistent with it, which is really, really awesome. It makes me happy. I also got engaged and I moved to Newark, New Jersey. And so, yeah, everything is good, just like moving.
I'm first of all, just on a separate thing, I'm like so excited when I saw your story. I was like, oh my God, what's happening?
Everyone was like, wait, what?
Yeah, because you did it like real slick in your story, and I was like, "What? What's happening?" So it was like a very giddy moment for me,
mm,
I must say.
Thank you.
congratulations. That's beautiful.
Yes. So just speaking about that, I think right after that, or like a little while after that, you talked about manifestation and you did a manifestation video. Like, can you talk about that? Because I feel like right now it's a popular conversation
hmm
about manifestation in general. And me and Jared are very interested in this conversation because that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, so I think it was really important for me to talk about manifestation. Actually, I filmed the video before Christmas and
Wow.
I was just feeling very happy because everything was coming together and not in a way that like, oh, I've got everything, everything is perfect the way it is, but everything just felt good, like I was on the right path. And so I was like, I think it's time to film this video about manifestation, especially like how I manifested my partner, because he's pretty much exactly what I asked for. And then I didn't get to edit it. And I went down to Florida with my family for Christmas, and he came and he proposed. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute, because I just talked about this and I still haven't posted the video yet.
Wow.
And so, yeah, it's just been a big part of my life. As you can see, I have like dream boards and vision boards everywhere and about different things. And I'm always dreaming. And I think that that's what manifestation is. It's having a dream, having a vision. To manifest is your what? It's your dream. And then manifestation is bringing that dream into reality.
Can you talk a little bit about the journey to the manifestation? Because I think a lot of times, as she's mentioned before we even hopped on the call, we want our now, but it's important that we enjoy that journey because that's what leads to that manifestation. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I have this process that I kind of make sure that I keep in my mind. And like I was saying, to manifest is your what? It's your dream, it's your vision, it's what you would like to for you to see. And then your to manifest manifesting is the process, the art of bringing that dream into your reality. And that process includes so many things. And it's a mindset really. And then the manifestation is actually having that what into your in the reality. So it's actually having what you ask for be there for you to see. It's tangible. But that part of manifesting, it's an art. Like you have to, your mindset has to be like, okay, this is what I want, this is what I'm going for, and this is the feeling that I want to have when I get it. And with that feeling, that's a little bit easier to grab than the actual what. So let's say you want a new job because your current job sucks. What are the feelings that you're going to have when you have that new job? You'll be excited, you'll be motivated, you'll have the salary that you want, so you'll be able to do the things that you want. And what would that feel like? And if you can sit in that place or take that feeling and put it into other areas of your life, then it's like you already have it. And so once you get it, it's like, oh, this is exactly what I wanted it to feel like.
Hmm.
This is
So it's
it.
kind of like telling the story how you want it versus the way that it is. I think that's sometimes I trip myself up by just constantly telling the same story the way it is, and I'm kind of limiting myself and keeping myself at that place. But if I would tell the story or have the emotions of what I want, then I will start to tap into those things easier. Is that pretty much?
Right. Yeah, because you can't really say what it is, right? Because you don't know what is looks like. So, you know, I like to look at it as God has a path for us. If you're not religious, you don't believe in God, then like the universe is conspiring for us, for our better. And with that being said, they know what it is. They see the final outcome, and we may want something specific, but that might not be the best thing for us. So instead of looking at it as I want this specific thing, I want this, I want it to look like this. Think about it more of like I want these feelings. I want to feel like this when I have it. I want to enjoy this space when I have it. And so I like with my partner, right? I asked for him to make me feel um I asked for him to be consistent. I asked for him to make me feel like I'm the only girl in the room when there's a bunch of girls in the area. I asked for him to just love me unconditionally, to want a family. And so by doing that, whatever he looked like or whatever he showed up as, that's not what I was trying to control. I kind of let that go because, again, the universe, God is working for my better. So I know whoever they send to me that is doing that, I'm going to be attracted to. Doesn't matter.
So, oh, that was like that. You kind of answered my question because I think for me, or just humans in general, right? We are very specific in what we think we want. Do you know what I mean? So I think a lot of people are like, I want a husband, or I want this job, without think, and that's very specific, but without thinking about the feelings behind it. And maybe you don't want a new job, you just want to feel better in another area, or maybe it's not the job, it's like something else. So focusing on feelings is important because I feel like that was an issue for me for a very long time. I was like, I just wanted somewhere else, and then I got somewhere else. I'm like, well, this is not really what I wanted at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, like, say you want a new job, but it's really not that you want a new job. You want a new position, or you
Yeah.
want more responsibility, or you want, I don't know. You want different coworkers or something,
Right.
different part of the business. Um, yeah, it's exactly that. It's asking yourself, what is it that you actually want? Is it the new job that you want, or is it the freedom of, not having a boss that is a micromanager? Like what is that? And then how do we get that?
Right.
How can we get that besides getting a new job? How can we get that in your current situation right now? Because if it's freedom and your current boss is a micromanager, maybe it's just a conversation. Maybe it's as
Mm,
simple as
right. So how just because again I'm obsessed with you, and I watched this video and I was like, I want that too. Like when you're doing the meditation, because I feel like having a clear mind is like the first step. And I can't turn this thing off. So when you're doing the meditation, like how important is it to kind of be able to clear your mind, take a moment, breathe? I was just sitting there like, that looks so peaceful, Anastasia. I want to do that. That should be my morning routine.
Yeah, it's so important. So like the first step of manifesting is being mindful, being aware of what's going on for you. And
Mhm.
in order to do that, you kind of have to quiet everything down. And it takes a while. It's not like you can quiet your mind for 40 minutes. no problem. Like I can't even do that. I can barely do 15 minutes.
Right.
But you start small. So I started with 5 minutes, and I also started with YouTube videos of guided meditations. And so someone is actually talking you through it, and it doesn't. You have something to focus on.
Right.
So kind of start with like, focusing on someone guiding you through a breathing exercise. Then it just helps you kind of quiet everything else that's going on around you. And in those quiet moments, that's when an idea sparks. That's when your gut starts to talk. That's when God starts to talk to you, like however you want to believe it. That's when you start hearing that voice louder
Hmm.
than the person that lives inside your head. It's not you, that person. Just remember that.
And the important part I think about just meditation is being kind to yourself because you're never going to get it right. Like I think that's the issue with a lot of people with meditating because I've been practicing meditation now for about 2 years, and in the beginning it was difficult to quiet my mind, and I would beating myself up over that. But then when I realized you're not going to have a good meditation experience every single time, and it's okay to have moments where your brain is all over the place, but that's the first step in meditation is not judging yourself when you're not getting it wrong. And I think that's where we trip ourselves up. I, I'm curious about going back to the emotions when you have those negative emotions and those mental blocks, like how do you get past that? Because I think that's what's limiting a lot of the manifesting process and getting to that manifestation. Like how do you deal with that?
Yeah, I actually just did a video last week about giving yourself grace. I call it giving yourself grace, but it's also like not judging yourself, being kind to yourself. And with that, it's a lot of self talk, a lot of reaffirming yourself. Having a coach to help you through that is really helpful. Uh, it's just remembering that like you are exactly where you need to be, and you're okay. And if you can soothe yourself through that, um, the best way that I like to think about it is, how do you talk to your friends? Would you tell your friend that, oh yeah, you're stupid for trying to get that new job? Like you would never say that to your friend.
Right.
You would
Right.
never say that to, and if you do, then maybe there's something else you gotta but you would never say that to another person. So why are you saying it to yourself? So ask yourself that question, like, why am I saying this to myself? Do I really mean that? Do I really think that about myself? And sometimes maybe you do, and that's okay. Remember, like it's okay, and you can work through that, and you can hire a coach, you can hire a therapist, and you can work through that. Everything is workable, workoutable. I'm trying to make up a word here.
That,
So
nope, that's it. That sounds perfect.
That's the new word, workoutable.
So, so I also, again, I'm going to keep reiterating this because I really am obsessed with Anastasia. So I follow all her stories. The affirmations, right? I think that just goes hand in hand with what you're saying is be kind to yourself. Like, do you have the same affirmations that you tell yourself every day? Can you change it based off what you're trying to do? How does that kind of contribute to manifestation in general? I know I have a couple myself.
oh my goodness. I'm somebody who changes things all the time. Like nothing is ever the same. And this kind of goes back to manifesting and like that dream, that vision. It always changes. You don't have to have the same dream forever. No one told you that you have to do one thing all the time. And so when it comes to affirmations, I just say the thing that I need the most. And
Mm,
so sometimes there's like one affirmation that I may want for the full year, right? So like this year, I create high value content is my affirmation, is my mantra. And that's because this year I really am focusing on creating content. However, when there comes a time where I make something and I'm like, I don't like this. This is not high value. I have to say something else to myself. I have to say, I'm doing the best that I can. I'm exactly where I am. I'm exactly where I need to be. I just find that phrase that will help me. Um, and yeah, a lot of it is finding that feeling, that
right.
next feeling that just feels a little better. So if I am trying to do something like, I make $1 million a year. Like I don't make $1 million a year.
Right.
And I'm not even close to doing that. And it doesn't feel real. So it's like I live abundantly, or I bring in the perfect amount for what I need and for what I want. That feels a little bit better.
Right. Right.
So you
Wow.
have to be authentic because you can't lie. Because sometimes I lie to myself and say I'm a millionaire, but you have to be as authentic as possible with what you're.
Okay to like lie to yourself. Like if you're in a feeling where you can say I'm a millionaire and you feel it and you believe it, then that's fine. That's good. You should do that because yes, you are saying that, you are attracting that, you are bringing that in. But if you're in a place where you don't believe it and you can't believe it, then that's
Mhm.
when you want to change it up, because that again is not being in that feeling, that emotion of what it would be like to be there.
Gotcha.
You're kind of
Boom.
going off of the path.
This is about to
That
change my whole
yeah.
affirmation structure, like everything about myself, because it comes down to the feeling of it all.
Yeah, because I keep the feeling piece is the part where I keep getting tripped up. It's just when we're having like last night, me and Shannon we had a conversation. We were pretty much venting about things and where we're going in the trajectory. And I think there were a point where we should stop talking this particular way about it because I think we're drilling in the negative aspects of things and we're not getting any place. But it's just really that feeling that we really have to figure out sometimes, and I feel like that's the hardest part. Um, for people who feel as though the manifestations aren't coming fast enough, do you have any advice for them?
Yeah, again, it's let go and let God, or let go and let the universe. Um, Time is the master of all, right? Like that is, we can't control time. If we did, we'd be able to time travel. And so we can't do anything about it. We just kind of have to let go and trust that God is working for us, trust that the universe is working for us, and that whatever is supposed to come will come for us at the perfect moment. So sometimes we want something right now, right now, right now, but maybe we're not ready for it. Maybe
Ooh,
this is not, the time that we should be getting it. So when it comes, that will be the perfect moment for when it comes. Um, yeah, again with like my fiance, this was I wasn't expecting it. I really wasn't. I was like just going with the flow and I was asking for it, but I just kind of just like let it happen. And it came at the perfect moment. I think I'm in the best place for myself to have this. Maybe like a year ago, I probably wouldn't be able to handle everything that's going on. So
wow, wow. There's so many gems today. So I know last time you were on, me and Jared were like, you quit your job and like you're starting this new journey. And one, I'm very like excited for you because I think that this is such a right fit for Anastasia. But what are the signs, or let's talk about feelings that you should look for when it's time to start the next chapter? Because I feel like some people, maybe just including myself, you get really complacent and stuck where you are, maybe out of fear. But like, what, or you want to leave, but you like have hesitation as to like the timing you should make a transition, whether it be a job, out of a relationship. Like, so what feeling should you be looking for?
happiness. That's just like the ultimate feeling.
Yeah.
When you are truly happy and content with the path that you're moving on, that's when you should strike. But also, you have to set yourself up for it. Like, what's going to bring you that happiness? What's going to help you feel that way? So for me, I had to save up a certain amount of money. I had to have a couple ideas of what I would do if I ran out of money. Uh,
Mhm.
I didn't have anything that was like foolproof. Like I didn't have a plan B. I didn't have a backup plan. But that was okay for me. Like I was okay with just having some ideas. And with that in mind, and with a certain amount of money, and with my support system in place of like, hey guys, this is what I'm doing. Do you support me? You do? Great. I'm ready. But until all of that lined up, I was I was always like nervous. I was like, oh, I can't do this. I can't do. I don't know. I don't know. And when you're in that place, then you shouldn't move.
Mm,
Move when you
right.
feel good.
I'm
And
glad you said set yourself up because a lot of people don't talk about that setting yourself up part. It's just you look over to the left, you look over to the right. People don't quit their job. They don't start a whole business. They don't did all these things. No one really talks about the setting yourself up part. So thank you for
yeah,
putting that out there.
yeah. I mean, I there's manifestation is great, but it's only great when you have the works, when
Mhm.
you do the work. Um, you can't ask for something and then not do anything and expect it to come into your reality. That's just not how it works. Period.
Facts.
And there's definitely like a Bible verse for that, but I don't know it. Um, like I'm very spiritual, and I grew up Catholic, so like I do know a lot about the Bible. I just don't have the
What is
specific.
it? Is it what is it? Faith without works is dead. Is that it?
Yeah, yeah.
Something like that.
Something
That's
like
what I
that.
think.
Something like that. Don't quote me, Jesus. I'm sorry because I might not be it. But
But yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. Religion, spirituality, it's all in one bucket, and so it just depends on how you wanna take in that information. But you can't expect something to happen without doing the actual work to get there.
I just saw one of your TikTok videos, and it was about comparing your journey to other
Ooh,
people, and like I said, sometimes we look. I try to be as have tunnel vision as much as possible, but sometimes we look left and sometimes we look right. Can you talk more about how important it is to not compare your journey to other people, regardless, even if you look up to them, you should not be comparing your journey to other people. Can you expand upon that some?
yes, there's no one way to get to a place, right? So, like, I constantly looked at when I was working at NBC. I was there, and I was a PA, then I was an AP, then I was a production manager, and I looked at the people around me. And some people went to Ivy League schools. Some people didn't go to college at all. Some people, just happened to be here, even though they studied psychology, but they knew someone. So we all ended up in the same place, but in different ways. And I was always so interested in that. I'm like, wow, like no one got here the same way. And I'm like, what careers do people go through that get there in the same place? I'm like, people are doctors, and they all pretty much go through the same kind of schooling, and I'm like, but there's different types of doctors. Like everyone gets to their place at it in a different way. And so there's no way that I can ask someone, how did you get here, and follow exact steps to get there, because it's just not going to work out that way. Our life paths are different. My experiences are different. How I grew up, where I grew up, the people that are around me are different, and different from maybe the my next door neighbor also. So we can't look at what other people are doing, because we just experience life in a different way. And so how am I supposed to get to where you are doing exactly what you're doing, when, um I grew up with my father and you grew up with your mother. Two different things, two different mindsets. Does that make sense?
No,
yeah,
that makes a lot of sense.
yeah.
We get so tripped up, especially with social media and seeing people's lives constantly 24/7. We get really tripped up on other people's journeys and how ours may not look the same or feel the same when we don't even know the real story behind people's journeys. And we were just talking about how you make your coffee and how that looks a certain kind of way
Right.
behind the scenes versus what it looks like on Instagram. We only are highlighting the warm fluffy moments, and we're not highlighting the actual journey and the actual hardships that we go through. And I think that it's doing a lot of people a disservice with that. And I'm happy when people are vocalizing you can't. We constantly need that reminder that you cannot look at other people's journeys to get to any spot that you're trying to get it to.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. You have your lane, you have your vision, the thing that you want to do, and so keep going. Feel that feeling, go with your gut, go with your intuition, and that will guide you there. Nobody else will be able to guide you there. There might be some suggestions, there might be some advice along the way, and that's awesome because you get to learn from other people's life experiences. But you can't compare yourself to where they are at the moment, because you're exactly where you need to be.
I mean, I just yeah, this is my favorite thus far. So I guess my question, and and maybe this is like a very loaded question, but we are in a pandemic still, and we are having a lot of still a variety of social issues. So when you're talking to, I don't know, do you call them clients? Clients? When you speak to your clients, yes. Um, how are we coping slash feeling our way through the traumas of the world? Because I feel like we can't talk about manifestation and all these other things about feelings unless we're talking about the negative feelings as well that probably a lot of people are going through right now.
Yeah, I mean, everyone is different. Everyone's going through something different. So it's kind of hard to answer that question because it looks different for everybody.
Person, yeah.
I think it's a mindset thing where you have to um, look at where you are right now and where you would like to be, and what's going on, how the world is moving, and how it's affecting you.
Mhm.
Um, and a lot of it is this is hard to say, but it's acceptance.
Mm,
Um, bad things happen all the time. Even if the world wasn't the way that it is right now, bad things still happen, and you can't control it. So you just kind of have to say, okay, these are the cards that I was dealt with, and how will I use this to propel me forward?
I think that was beautifully said. I think that even in the midst of whatever you're feeling, anybody's feeling, there's certain things that you have no control over. And for me, probably a lot of other people, I like to have control. So not having control is definitely something that you get a little bit uncomfortable with. But I love the way you just said that, because some things you can't control, and it's like, what are you gonna do, or how are you gonna use whatever your current circumstances just to keep going? Because you have to keep going.
Right. So like for someone like yourself, if you're very much you like to be in control, then it's like, okay, well you can't control this situation. But what can you control? And like let's focus on that. I actually did an exercise. It's a grounding exercise the other day because I was panicking and I was like, everything is changing. Like I'm moving, I'm getting married. I'm in a career right now that like I don't know what 3 months is going to look like from now. So like everything is changing. I can't, and I just started like panicking, and I was like, stop. What's not changing? Let's look at what's not
Mhm.
changing. The trees are still treeing. The dogs are still barking. The internet is still interneting. Like
Yeah.
these are things that are not changing. And just by doing that, just by running through the things that like just aren't moving, it helped me saying, oh wait, you know what? Everything is not changing. Just
Right.
these few things. And that's okay because everything goes through transitions. Like the trees even go through transitions through seasons, but they always go through those seasons. And
Mm.
so, just a little bit of a grounding exercise and remembering what you can control will help.
I'm gonna try that when KJ's having a little temper tantrum and I'm like, "Ah!" I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that. That actually seems pretty calming when you do it.
That sounds great because I was just talking to my friend the other day about like everything's changing around me, or I'm feeling like I'm going through so many changes, and I never even thought about focusing on the things that aren't changing. That's the cool one. And you also speak a lot about gratitude. Like, can you go into like what exercises that you have for that, or and why is that so important?
Oh my goodness, gratitude is super important because it brings you back to that feeling. Like again, it's all about feelings. So when you are looking at the things that you are grateful for and you're remembering like the things that you have, then those happy feelings comes back, those exciting feelings come back, and so you get back into alignment with the things that you want to manifest.
Hmm.
When you are happy, when you are excited, when you are feeling abundant, then you are aligned with what you want to manifest. And so yesterday actually, I texted my family and I was just like, I'm just so grateful that that you all are healthy and doing well. And that's it. And it's just as simple as that. Just like a little, you know, oh, is my internet? connection.
You're
You're
back
back.
now.
Sorry. Yeah, so I text my family the other day and just said, I am just happy that you guys are healthy and well. And it's just a little bit of like remembering that there are good things that are happening, and being grateful for those good things. Even if everything else seems so crazy, it's like, oh snap, I just found pasta in my cabinet. I thought I didn't have any food. Thank you to Anastasia back then that bought that pasta.
That's like me with my dish detergent.
You have a lot of dish detergent.
Well, so you know how you run out of dish detergent and be that day when you have all the dishes in the sink and you're like, fuck, I don't got it. And that one time when you look underneath the cabinet, I'm like, shit, I got an extra bottle of dish detergent. I'm happy. Praise the Jared that came before that bought that dish detergent.
Exactly.
So I think I don't know how many years ago, but gratitude in journaling, because I know we talked about this last time, and I said I don't like to journal all the time because all my feelings come out, but they go kind of hand in hand. Like I think it's helpful when you actually just, even if you can't say it, you write it down what you're grateful for every day.
Yeah. So I think before I start journaling, or the first thing that I journal about is what I'm grateful for, and that's also the first thing that I do when I start to pray. Um, I think I've mentioned this sometime before that I used to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not praying right, or oh my gosh, I'm not
Yes.
journaling right. There's this like process that I have to do. And then I think I talked to like a nun or someone, and they were like, there's no proper way to do it. Just do what feels best for you. So I said, all right, this is going to be my process. I'm going to just say thank you, and I'm going to have gratitude in the beginning of any kind of ceremony or kind of thing that I embark on, and then go from there. So that's the first thing I do when I sit down to pray, when I sit down to meditate, sit down to journal, is just say I am grateful to be here. I'm grateful to have this time to sit down and just relax for the next 10 minutes. Yeah.
I have to start doing that again because I have stopped.
It's
So
okay. It's okay though.
I know. I have to give myself grace. This
Yeah.
is kind of like a session right now, Anastasia. So let's touch back because I think we should always remind people again, like what is a life coach? What is a wellness coach? What services you provide? Because again, like this is like a session. I think this is just a conversation, and you give us tools. But I would love for you to share with everybody what actually a life coach is.
Yeah. So I am kind of niching down now, which is awesome. It it changes a little bit all the time, but because this is still the beginning of my self-employment business, but I work with people on self-discovery, and really trying to figure out what that dream is, what that vision is, to manifest. And so we start out with mindfulness and awareness, kind of bringing up all your limiting beliefs, making you aware of how you show up. And so, something like what you said, you like to control everything. We'll talk about that in the beginning of our conversations. We'll have conversations to bring those things out. And then we start to talk about who it is you would like to become, what it is that you would like to do. Uh, and so you might feel like you are control of everything right now, and you like that part of you, and you want to keep that part of you. Like, okay, so then we look at that in your dream world of what does controlling things look like in that dream world? And then we start to bridge the gap.
Right.
So I am there to help you go from where you are to where you want to be, making you aware and mindful of what's going on each step of the way, and then giving you tools to help you when you get to that place of that dream world, giving you tools, when you start to slip back, how you can bring yourself back into that dream life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what's next? What's next for you? I mean, I know you kind of just talked about your niching down. What are your plans for the next 6 months? Do you have plans?
So right now, I 6 months is a little too far out for me to think. And again, that's giving myself grace because sometimes I can look out a year, I can look out 5 years. Sometimes I can look out 2 months, 3 months.
Okay, there you go.
And so for right now, I am focusing on this move situation. I'm focusing on a lot of personal stuff. And then as far as business goes, I'm continuing with the YouTube, continuing posting more actually on Instagram, bringing those tools to you in a way that is, if you can't afford a life coach or if you are just looking for specific things, you'll be able to find that on my channel. And then I'm also starting a Patreon in April. And with that Patreon, we'll take the journal prompts that I send out every month and we'll just do a deep dive and we'll do exercises around that theme for the month.
That's so exciting.
And now, where can people find you with all of that you have going on? Like, where can people find you so they can make sure they get your services and see all the fun things that you're doing?
Yeah. So for my life coaching services and to sign up for my journal prompts, you can go to my website, www.yo-anna.com. And then for my YouTube channel, it's just Anastasia Weeks. Type that into the search bar, you can find me. And then on Instagram, it is at yo_Anna718. Still got that Brooklyn in there.
Always.
Yeah. Anna, this, I love and adore you. So thank you so much for coming on again. I feel like this was just a timely conversation that needed to be had. And we just adore you and we hope and pray the continued success of just everything that you have going on. And congrats on your engagement.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. I feel like you guys always have these authentic and genuine conversations, and you're really curious. I listen to all your podcasts, and yeah, it's just, I'm so grateful that you guys included me. So thank you.
And we're grateful for you.
We are. Okay, so thank you guys for listening. This is another episode of Not Your Enemy Speak Out Sessions. Make sure, if you haven't already, that you like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel, Not Your Enemy Brand, and our new Instagram page, the Not Your Enemy Brand. Have a good one, guys.
Later.
Bye.